Alright, this is the only time I'm gonna speak about this because I fucking hate talking about politics, but listen, alright? Everyone's asking Charlie Kirk's death. What do you think about it? This, that, and the other, okay? It's as simple as this. Do I like Charlie Kirk? Do I think he was a good person? No, okay? I don't hate the guy, but I think he was a rage baiter. Do I think he deserved to die? No, okay? I don't think he deserved to get shot and killed in front of thousands of people. Is that crazy to say? Charlie Kirk was a goddamn influencer, okay? I know he was like politically involved with the Trump administration, whatever that shit was, but listen, he wasn't a fucking politician, alright? He wasn't making decisions that changed people's lives. He was a goddamn rage baiter who used extremist views and his professional speaking skills to act as a voice for the right wing, okay? That's why people liked his fucking shit, because he was owning liberals and shit, you know? So it's like, I know he said a bunch of crazy insensitive shit before, and he's not necessarily a likable person, but like I said, he doesn't have any political power. He's just a fucking rage baiter, you know? You did not kill someone who makes decisions that impact other people's lives. You just kill the guy who makes videos and says shit that you don't like, you know? And he has fucking children too. You have all these people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death too. And it's just like, dude, first of all, from just like a human standpoint, right? Charlie Kirk was a goddamn father. I know that's like a cliche fucking, you know, answer, like, oh, he had wife and kids, so was all the people that who died to gun violence and who do all the shit. But my point being is that from a human standpoint, you should already feel fucking sympathy that this guy who didn't make any political fucking decisions, I need to make that very clear, he didn't make any goddamn decisions, he's just a goddamn influencing rage baiter, right? He just gets shot and killed in front of thousands of people. Does it even make sense from a logical standpoint even? Okay, it never makes sense, right? From a human standpoint, no one deserves to get shot and fucking killed. But do you really think Charlie Kirk, okay, Charlie Kirk, the professionally speaking right-wing guy online, right? You really think he was a bad enough person that it was worth making his daughters fucking, like, fatherless? To make his wife a widow? Like, from a logical standpoint even, alright? Human standpoint, we already know. Fuck no, right? But even from a logical standpoint, you know, I understand, like, killing Osama bin Laden, that made sense, right? Fuck, I don't give a shit about his kids because that was Osama goddamn bin Laden, right? But this is fucking Charlie Kirk we're talking about here, dude. Like, come on, this guy was not even a politician. I want to make that very clear. I also want to make it very clear that I don't like this motherfucker, okay? I think it's very clear what he does, like his rock-hard stance on abortion, talking about how he's gonna make his daughter deliver the baby that the rapist gave to her. No, you're not, all right? He was not about to do that. He was just saying that to stand on his shit, you know? And it's like, it's like this guy was not a likable person. I can totally agree with that, but celebrating himself getting shot and killed, like, really? Like, really? But let's play devil's advocate for a second, okay? Let's say you still didn't care. Let's say you didn't give a shit about Charlie Kirk's wife and kids, all right? Let me give you another reason as to why you still should not celebrate him dying. Like I said before, Charlie Kirk was not a politician, okay? The only influence he had was public opinion. I repeat, he was not a politician, okay? He had no political influence, but a lot of people liked him and a lot of people didn't. And guess what happens when someone like that gets fucking assassinated, okay? It makes the two parties that make up the country even more separated. And guess what happens when we're a separated country, okay? We don't make nearly as much fucking progress. And guess who benefits from that, all right? The billionaires at the top who can monetize simple shit in life like goddamn water. Like, why the fuck is healthcare not free? Can you give me a single reason? Can you give me a single person, left or right-leaning, who doesn't think healthcare should be free? Oh, wait, I forgot. The fucking billionaires who own healthcare companies don't want that. So you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna frame all the healthcare shit as a partisan debate, as a political thing, make it politically polarizing. That way it's harder to achieve. That way they can disguise it as, oh, it's a political... No, motherfucker. No one thinks healthcare should cost money. And they've gotten greedy with it too, dude. Not even making it cheaper. Denying fucking claims, like, hello? And you want to know why they can do that? You want to know why the United Healthcare CEO got slimed out? Because when there's a two-party system, we don't make nearly as much progress. So all the policies that low-key might fuck them over and not make them as much money, they don't get a serious goddamn platform because we're always switching the goddamn party that gets chosen to run the fucking country, okay? And you want to know what, like, the funniest part is about the whole thing, you know? Doesn't matter what fucking party you're in, the blue, red, fucking green, I don't care. You know what they all support? Goddamn capitalism, okay? Liberals, Democrats, fucking Republicans, conservatives, I don't even know. They all support Capitalism. And guess who benefits from fucking capitalism? The rich motherfuckers at the top. And guess what? You know, they might fight on the outside, right? But on the inside, it's like, it doesn't matter who wins. As long as they don't make fucking progress, the people who are rich as shit can stay rich. And you want to know the fucking craziest part? The absolute craziest part? When there's two parties, okay, the people who want change in the country, they think they're doing the right thing by fighting the other side. Okay, liberals don't like conservatives, right? The red doesn't like the blue. And by doing that, they think they are fighting the fight. They think they are making progress, but that is simply not true. They're playing Team Fortress 2, okay, red versus blue. But in reality, the gray people at the top are the ones benefiting. Why was that low-key a fucking bar? Did you hear that shit? But either way, the reason that I'm saying all this is because Charlie Kirk's death is just another thing for these people to fight about. It is just another reason to divide the country and the elites can fucking benefit. Which is why I think even if you dislike Charlie Kirk, you don't give a fuck about his kids, you don't give a fuck about his wife, you should still not celebrate his death. Because it is just more progress down the drain. It's just splitting us even more. Like what? Do you guys see what I mean? The political system is not good. Now, think about China, all right? And I know they're communists, and I'm just using them for an example for the video, right? They're a communist state. They have one political party. Why do you think they are always making progress? As much as I'm against communism, like, you can't fucking deny the fact that it's good for progress. The two-party system is the exact opposite. But yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts on Charlie Kirk getting killed. I didn't like the guy. I didn't think he was a good person, but I still think what happened to him was fucking horrible. And I feel like celebrating his death is even more terrible, not because it just makes you a horrible person, but also because, dude, what do you think the people high up are gonna do? They're gonna use this as a way to divide the country even more. It's simple as that. Now, on some more positive news, the shooter has been caught. It was this guy right here. His name was Tyler Robinson. Now, because this guy shot Charlie Kirk and not an actual politician, I'm only gonna assume that he did this because either A, he's a fucking dumbass who thought this would do anything, or B, he was doing it for attention. And this guy had a 4.0 GPA and was on a scholarship at Utah State, the school that Charlie Kirk got shot at, so I'm gonna assume he was doing it for attention. So I'm gonna try and talk about him as little as possible, but one thing I do want to talk about was the messages he put on the bullet casings. Basically, this guy's father turned him in, and when they investigated, they found a bunch of evidence that led to him being the shooter, one of which being bullet casings that he had engraved messages on, and these were the messages, okay? The first one was, "Notice his bulge, oh, what's this?" I am not joking, by the way. That was actually on the bullet casing, and in case you guys don't know what that means, it's like a furry thing. Okay, Owu is like, I think it's like a furry thing. The other one said, "Hey fascist, catch this." Another one said, "Up arrow, right arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow," which is apparently like a Helldivers reference, which is a video game apparently. The third bullet had a reference to an Italian anti-fascist song, and the last one said, "If you're reading this, you're gay." Now, the reason I wanted to show you guys the messages on the bullet casings was because it perfectly captures who this guy is as a person, okay? He is a fucking boner, all right? Tyler Robinson is a goddamn loser. Like, he literally wrote a furry reference, a game cheat code, I assume, and "if you're reading this, you're gay," after murdering an innocent man. Like, I don't know, dude. This guy is just a goddamn loser, and I wanted to point that out. All right, when it comes to my final thoughts, I already said everything. I really don't feel like repeating it either, so yeah. Moral of the video, I don't know, dude. This is no moral either. Hug your loved ones, you know, hug your loved ones, you know, be grateful that you're alive today. Any day can be your last, and yeah. Peace out, guys. Stay tuned for the next video tomorrow. I have to talk over this because it's copyrighted now. Pooh Shiesty, that's my dog. You know I'm really shiesty.